Hi. Hi.
Hi.
What are you reading?
Hey, uh, I'm going through, what do you call it? Algebraic analysis of CVP, cost volume profit analysis.
Okay.
Yes.
If you don't mind, can you please tell me more about FIF, Fixed Income Fund?
All right. Uh, okay. So FIF, for you first to understand FIF, do you understand CIS? Do you know CIS?
No?
Okay. So for you to better understand how FIF operates, you need to first understand CIS, because FIF is one of the investment vehicles under CIS. Now, to begin with, CIS is just an arrangement, eh? just an arrangement by investment companies or investment trust to pool fund. Then the fund that they are pulled from a range of people, they invest this fund in various assets. So one of them could be stocks. Or some they can invest in bonds and all that. So CIS usually thrive in what we call ecosystem. Now, this ecosystem has parties. One of them is the regulator. The regulator is the Capital Market Authority of Kenya. That is the regulator within the jurisdiction of Kenya. So they ensure that the interest of all the parties involved in the market is upheld. So, for example, like they protect the interest of investors, and at the same time they ensure that the other parties, like custodian in this ecosystem, conduct their duties as prescribed. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Now, apart from uh, the the regulator, we have custodian. Now, custodian normally is a bank. Now, this where the funds from the investors lands. Okay, so
Yeah.
they do the custody. They offer custody of the funds that have been pulled. Okay, so in other words, I can say custodian is a port where these funds are being pulled. Then we have the fund manager. Fund manager, we can also call them. Uh, can also call them. We can also refer to them as the trust. They ensure that the pool fund is invested in more profitable investments, or they offer strategies on how the funds that are being held by the custodian will be allocated into various assets, so that investors can realize better returns. Then also we have financial advisors who also help now the investors to understand how these investments work. Apart from the advisors, we also have this team here. We also have, of course, the investors who are now bringing the money that is being pulled to be invested in these assets. Now, after understanding the ecosystem, which I've explained the parties involved, now it's very easy for you now to understand what FIF. Now, like I've said, that money is being pulled. This money that has been pulled is being invested. Now, FIF come from where that name FIF, Fixed Income Fund, is derived from where these funds are being invested. So, for another name for FIF, I said that is bond fund. So it means that the assets that have been pulled, all the funds that have been pulled, are being invested in bonds. So that's why it is called bond fund. Are we together up to there?
Yes.
So the returns that have been realized from the bonds investments or fixed assets investments are being distributed to the investors in a pro rata basis. In other words, in the ratio of their contribution to the fund. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So from there, I think even I'm done. I'm done explaining all of it. Yes, I'm done. I've been explaining all these things for what, so I can talk a lot. So that's all. FIF is just a pooled fund invested in a bond,
In a bond.
or a portfolio of bond. Okay.
Yeah.
So a portfolio. If I say portfolio, it just means that we are having various assets. Like these bonds are from various issuers. So we can majorly classify these bonds into two. One, we have corporate bonds. Two, we have government bonds, which we usually also call it treasury bonds. Altogether.
Yeah.
Yes. So from there, the returns from all from the corporate bonds and the return from the treasury bonds are being distributed to investors who have invested in fixed income fund. So the higher the amount you contribute, the higher the return.
The return.
Yes. So that's all. That's all you need to know about fixed income fund.
And what are the pros of investing in FIF?
Okay, FIF. If I can say, FIF has a lot of advantages. To begin with, I can say they offer competitive returns. Okay, they offer competitive returns compared to the traditional savings platform. Okay, such as fixed deposits. So, if you compare the returns that FIF is giving, is far much higher compared to the returns that maybe you could have earned from what? From the traditional saving platform. So it's a very lucrative investment that is also affordable to all people from all the economic facets. Another advantage I can mention is stability and flexibility. But this one will now depend with the firm or the fund manager that we choose to invest with, because we have so many investment managers or fund managers in Kenya. Then another important advantage is compounding of interest. Do you know how compounding of interest is being calculated?
No.
Okay, maybe. So you see, generally banks, their interest they give is simple interest. But for FIF or CIS products, usually the interest is compounded, which means when you invest, the principal amount you invested will accrue interest. The interest that you invested, that has been invested, become what? Become a principal in the next subsequent period. So let's say, for example, we say that interest is compounded monthly. So it means if you invest in the first month, the following month, the interest earned in the first month plus the principal that you invested become the principal for the second month. Okay?
Yeah.
For the third month, then interest that are accrued in the second month plus initial principal plus the interest earned in the first month become what? The principal in the third month. So it continues like that. So that's what we call compounding. So in the long run, you will find that the total return that we will have at the end of the year is more compared with simple interest. So that is a very important aspect of FIF, compounding of interest. Another thing is diversification. I've said that in FIF, it's a portfolio of bonds, which is corporate bonds and treasury bonds. So it means we have a basket of assets under FIF. So even if one of the assets underperform, then the lower return will be compensated with other assets. So that diversification element make this type of investment to be competitive, to be stable, and to be also to be a platform that you can use as a capital preserver. Another one you tap into expertise of the fund manager. Okay, because there are some investors who are new to the investment. They are not investment savvy, so they don't understand investment that much. So when they tap into the knowledge of the expertise of the fund manager, then they save themselves the effort of trying to learn and to allocate fund on their own. Another thing, it's another advantage we can say that it is affordable. Anyone, all people in all the economic facets can afford this, because there are some fund managers that have set the initial minimum investment amount to be around 1,000, some even 5,000, which is not high. So you will find out that even that person who could not invest directly into government bonds, which require you to have at least 50,000, is when you can place a bid as a non-competitive bidder to an option of even investing. So if you invest in a CIS or if you invest in FIF, then already you are indirectly invested in what? In a treasury bond and other corporate bonds, which you could otherwise not access. So those are some of the most important advantages of what? FIF. I hope I've well explained that.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
And are there any demerits of investing in FIF?
Okay, demerit, I can say that the one major demerit is liquidity. Now, liquidity can be advantage and at the same time can be a demerit. Why am I saying it is a demerit? It is a demerit since that you can access this fund. Most fund managers allow you to access fund within 3 months or 6 months from the time of investment. So it means if you can't access your fund, you will not have that. If you are not having the discipline of long-term perspective, you might be tempted to what? To withdraw before what? Before maybe before even waiting for some time so that you can get more interest. So that one I can say is one of the challenges. But if you are somebody who is having financial discipline, you can commit. If you say that I want to invest for, let's say, 10 years or 5 years, then if you are disciplined enough to wait until 10 years or 5 years elapses, then that could be now work on your favor, not as a disadvantage. Another one I can say is you need to understand that these investments fluctuate in terms of returns or interest rates. Okay, so that one can be advantage and the same time can turn out to be disadvantage. Now, when rates are better, then of course it's advantage because you are getting high yield. But when rates now maybe due to the underlying assets now they underperform, then at that time also we can say that it is the disadvantage because you are exposed to risk. But generally I can say that this is one of the low risk investments. So for disadvantage, those I can say. That's all I can say. But also what I can say is that you really need to do your due diligence so that you ensure that you choose the best fund manager.
Okay.
Yes.
That is insightful.
Thank you.
So in summary, how can one start investing in FIF?
Okay, it's very simple. It's very simple. You just on board. Okay, first of all, you have to do your due diligence to know to know the best fund managers, and knowing the best, do you have to find out on the historical performance of those fund managers. Also, you have to look on what we call their balance sheet. Okay. In other words, you have to look at what is their net worth, what is the asset under management that they are owning, because that one will inform your risk, will inform the risk that you are going to be involved. You understand? So those firms that are very stable, they have a lot of resources, or they are having a lot of assets invested in them. They have the capability of even liberating technology. You understand? So with the technology, they can do better research and all that, and that translates into higher returns. So you have to do your due diligence, know very well the fund manager that you're investing in. So that's what I can say. And also, personally, you can contact me to help you discern the right or the best, according to my opinion and from my research, the best fund manager that will give you competitive return. Yes, the onboarding process is very, it doesn't take time. It's something that can be done very quickly enough. But the most important part is you have to do your due diligence so that you understand the fund manager. Yes. I hope you are well answered.
Yeah, I'm right.
Okay. So do you want to start it? Or can you consider it?
I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, no problem.
Anyways, thanks for your time.
Okay. Thank you also
Yeah, thank
for
you.
your understanding.